Hey guys, welcome back here to my channel, and God, it's been a long time, but here I am doing another episode of my Arrow suspended coaster. I really haven't been working on this for a few months. Lots of things been going on, but it's been in the back of my mind, and today I thought I'd jump back in and do a quick little video of some of the progress that I did do. And mostly the work I've been doing is custom supporting, trying to get most of that done. And today I'm going to really focus on this bottom left hand corner where there is this helix into the first brake run before the second lift hill. And also there is a drop tower there which I added, which I thought was a perfect place to add a kind of flat ride. And I dressed that up already. I did that all off camera because I didn't think it was really much to do with this particular project that I'm doing, the coaster itself. But I added that in there. I'll give you a closer look at that as well at some point. But I just wanted to go in and show you how I kind of do these supports now. The supports, I did a few in another video, but I'm going to focus on this little bit here. The supports, I use the I-beams from the Parkitect mod, and then also the poles from the same mod. And I just upscale those poles, make them nice and chunky, add those in there. And this kind of style of support for this classic Arrow style coaster, is super easy to do. I am using some Freedom 2K, which I don't think is available anymore anywhere, but I still have it installed. That way it allows me to kind of rotate pieces and put them at strange angles and make it kind of look a bit more natural and realistic, which is something that I always like to go for. As well as doing the supports in this corner, I'm going to go and do some kind of terrain painting and add in some foliage and trees and really kind of finish up this corner so I can get an idea for the rest of the map. Maybe ask me why it's taking me so long to actually do this small map, and that's just because I haven't really been playing as much. I like to play here and there. I'm not really on it every day anymore, and but I still do enjoy the game. It is something that if I have a project, I will kind of dip in and out of that project. So it's taking me longer to do, mainly because of like working and stuff and not really having as much time. I've also been playing other games, of course, like Hogwarts Legacy, and I like to play a bit of Fortnite here and there. And some other games, but you know, I haven't, whereas before I only played this game and I really dedicated a lot of time to it. I had more time to play it, especially during COVID and those kind of weird times where I had so much time on my hands. But yeah, so that's kind of why I'm not really working as much on it, but I do enjoy, like I said, dipping in and out of the game sometimes, adding a little bit to this map here and there, and it's nice to kind of have a project on the side that I can always kind of go into if I fancy doing something for an hour or two. Now back to the supports. I wasn't happy with how the top of the poles looked, that kind of rounded off shiny edge. So what I've done is that I've taken a cylinder and kind of scaled that up to match the size of the pole. Maybe it's just a tiny bit smaller, sunk that in there to the top of the pole so that it's kind of got more of a flat top. And that way I think it looks a bit more realistic or more aesthetically pleasing. And then I've gone ahead and added some flanges. I've just sized those up as well to match the pole size and added those in. I just kind of randomly dot them around, especially on larger poles. Sometimes I like to add one in the middle, or if it's a really long, large pole, I'll add a couple of flanges. And as you can see there as well, I'm doing a little bit of terra painting. Now what I like to do is kind of make the area under the coaster grey, and then all the kind of areas either side of where the track is and where the supports are, I go in with the darker kind of brown grassy color, and I kind of do circle motions with the mouse and kind of just paint that on randomly so it looks not so man-made and placed. I'm just adding a couple more details here with the catwalks here and the supports as well, just adding a couple more extra beams in. Yeah, so the coaster, typically, not always, but these Arrow suspended coasters generally had 2 lift hills. Not all the time, like I said, but I wanted to have 2 lift hills, so therefore the second lift hill needed to have some sort of brake run before going into that one to slow the train down. Also for block section purposes, if you understand what those are, it helps with more capacity and having more trains on the track, so the train can kind of come to a stop in this brake run if needs be. And then I'm just adding in a maintenance pathway here from like down the side of the queue line from the drop tower. Staff will be able to go down this path, not actually in game, but in real life they would be able to go and access that brake run there for any kind of problems or maintenance, that kind of thing. It's really hard to do diagonal fences on a slope, and I found that out while doing this, and they look a bit weird, but I'm going to try and tidy them up and make them look as usable as possible. And here I have like a plaza area in front of the drop tower where that path connects to, and I just added a fence there, which kind of is like a staff only type of fence. Now I'm going in with some trees. My typical rule with trees is to have 3 types of trees and to stick to those. 3 or more types of tree can get a little bit crazy sometimes. And if you do think it's starting to look a bit samey, you can just kind of vary the shades of colors within the trees that you've chosen. So yeah, like I said, I stick to 3 trees. I'm not sure which ones I've gone for there, but I kind of like the combination of the ones I picked. And then if I do feel like I need to add some color variation, I'll just go in with the color picker tool and just ever so slightly change the shades of some of them so they all look very organic and real. So now I'm just going to take you in real time into the map and just show you kind of what's been going on, what I've done off camera and the progress and where I'm at. Here's the kind of station area as you've seen already, but I did add a little logo on there called the Moth, which I thought was quite a cool name for this, kind of reminiscent of the bat, that type of thing. And I made that out of various pieces. I thought it looked quite cool there. It's quite simple. Added a little neon sign there to kind of make it modern, and I added a big one in front of the station and then a smaller one for the entrance of the queue line. Got the train there just leaving the station, and as you saw in a time-lapse video, this is kind of the station queue line area, and also we have the final brake run there above the queue line, which I really love actually. And the train comes into it at quite some speed and it really gets some swinging going on the brakes, which I really like as well. So I'll just try and capture that for you now. And yeah, as you can see, it got the same foliage that I used in the other corner of the map there, kind of dotted around, using the same terra painting techniques there as well. Here comes the train. So I love how that looks, it's really cool. I've added in a path here along the side, which kind of takes you over to the back side of the map where we have the first drop of the coaster, which has got this really nice swooping curve drop over the terrain, over the path in there, and also over the water. That pathway there kind of continues underneath the track there, and I added in a wooden canopy there just to protect the guests from the track overhead, which leads on to the drop tower area, which is called Conda Drop. Kind of stole the name from Conda at Walibi, Belgium. And I customized the tower there using some cylinder pieces and kind of did like a green gradient towards the top of the tower, which made it look a little bit more interesting and not so kind of vanilla and generic. Added in a queue line and did all the numbers on the floor there for each corresponding seat, and kind of added like some bins and things for people to put their belongings in. Tried to make that look quite realistic. Here comes the train now on the first drop, so I'll just let you kind of watch that happen. And yeah, it kind of meanders around there, over the pathway, through the trees, kind of reminiscent of Ninja at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And that will take us on to the bit which I showed you today on in the time lapse, which is that kind of helix before the first brake run, before the second lift hill. And here comes the train now. It does take this at quite some speed actually, and it's got a little near miss moment there underneath the brake run. So that's looking cool. Obviously, as you can see, I need to go in and actually finish custom supporting the rest of the coaster. This kind of half of the map is pretty much done. There are some more kind of little details I'd like to do, especially on the water edge, that kind of thing, and maybe add some more seating areas and that kind of thing for the guests. But yeah, this area is looking really cool. I'm really happy with how it's turning out there. Just need to, like I said, do the rest of the map now. Here's a better view there of the drop tower, which I think looks really cool. I think it's the perfect position for it. And I like how it kind of starts to lower down on the terrain, which it's always nice if your land in your park or your little map has a little bit of height differences between attractions and paths and everything. Just makes it a little bit more realistic rather than having the whole thing on one flat plane, which kind of also makes coaster building a bit easier as well, I feel, because you can kind of use the peaks and the valleys and things off the landscape to kind of really help with the flow of your coaster. It's just something that I like to do, but obviously sometimes building on flat land is much easier as well. But yeah, that is the coaster, the Moth. I have a lot more work to do on it, but I just wanted to give you a little update on where I'm at with it. I hope you're really enjoying it, and if you are, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe to my channel. I don't post that regularly, I'm afraid, but I do give you updates here and there, and I really do appreciate the support that I do get for my videos. But I'll see you all next time here on my channel for another video. Bye!